Okay, so this is the part in the playthrough where I start to wish fervently that I was playing Mass Effect 2 or 3. Yeah. Okay, I'm not quite ready to give up on life. I'm just a little bored.
I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen, which is exactly what I
No,
did.
the thing that's funny to me isn't the fact that you got shot, but the fact that somebody popped in right behind you
Popped
as
in.
it was happening.
Yeah, like fucking target practice at a police academy.
I just like the totally annoyed look Shepard gives him when a bullet disintegrates in front of him, in front of her or him. You just kind of like look down at the flash of light and look back up, and you're like, what?
And the reaction to almost attempted murder is, "Oh God!"
Time to do the math in my head. What happens if we don't stop this rock?
Yeah. Anyway, this here is the engineer. He has a handgun, and he's not going to be using it much because, well, the professionals are here now, so you can just hide in a cabinet somewhere. You'd probably be more helpful. But yeah, this guy is basically here to tell you what the stakes are. So he gives you a pretty vivid image of what will happen if the asteroid crash lands on Terra Nova.
You'll die, your friends will die, your pets will die. Life sucks, get over it.
I think if you don't do this DLC, the asteroid does actually crash into Terra Nova, but I'm not sure.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, like you'll hear about it in the other games, and it'll just sort of serve as a news broadcast to remind you that, oh hey, this DLC existed, but you didn't import a save where you did it, so I guess it doesn't matter.
You should have gave us extra money, now those people are dead. Jeez, Shepard.
But yeah, the oh yeah, and you also get some dialogue about what the Batarians go. The Citadel conventions forbid asteroid drops. Wow, I guess it's a good thing the Batarians seeded themselves from the Citadel. Did you forget that part, Simon? Because I remember that part. It's kind of important, you know?
You know, you're not violating the Geneva Conventions if you never agreed to them in the first place. Eh?
What's a Geneva?
Mustard gas for everyone!
Well, yeah, because, like, you know, from a country's point of view, if three other countries make a treaty, well, why should you care? That's the thing. It's like, yeah. The only thing that's really stopping people from, you know, breaking those conventions is everyone will hate them if they do.
Yeah, and hotel prices are ridiculous. The badges are too expensive.
But, like, the Batarians are at that point where they literally don't care anymore. But it's not actually officially the Batarian government that's doing this. It's a terrorist group that claims to be separate from the Batarian government, but you find out in Mass Effect 3 that the leader is connected to the Batarian government still, so it might have been quietly approved, you know, as a sort of black op kind of thing. The thing about the Batarians, and probably their shittiest aspect, is that their response when they lost out on colonist territory to the humans was to, instead of dealing with it directly through political channels, well, they tried that too, but they also funneled money to criminal groups and raiders so that they, and you know, encouraged them to attack small human colonies out on the fringes of Citadel space, basically giving humanity a reason not to expand outside of their territory. So,
What a fun bunch.
yeah, actually, two of Shepard's backstories, not one of them, two of Shepard's possible backstories are directly connected to that. The colonist origin has you growing up in a colony that gets completely eradicated by Batarian raiders, and the war hero reputation story has you valiantly defending a colony against a similar raid, which leads to a nice little sort of internal resolution for Shepard if you choose both of them at the same time. But, yeah. Considering the really big place that the Batarians have, it is kind of sad that they dropped out of that they dropped out of prominence in Mass Effect 3. What winds up happening in Mass Effect 3 is that the Reapers fucking wipe out the Batarian homeworld off-screen before the game starts, and you just sort of hear about it. So, the few Batarians that you actually do encounter during the game are just sort of refugees, and they don't really do much. Is this guy still talking? I swear this conversation didn't go on as long while I was recording.
Talking to Tally a few parts ago. I think this is kind of standard at this point.
Okay, this conversation, I swear to God, it wasn't this long while I was playing. It didn't feel this long.
What was the conversation about?
Oh, it's over.
Really, 5 minutes later. Sorry that I tried to shoot you.
Well, you're actually paying attention to what they're talking about in when you're playing the game. Not that I would ever not take my responsibilities as a BrainScratch commentary not seriously by playing Prickross on my DS.
Hey, eyes on this tab, Jeff.
Yeah, but yeah, when you're playing a game, obviously these story sequences are going to be way more engaging than when you're watching somebody else play it. Not only just because, playing a game on your own, but we're supposed to be talking and not reading, because otherwise it'd be really quiet and boring Let's Play commentary,
Yeah.
whatever the hell we do.
So it's basically impossible for us to follow the conversations, is what you're saying. Yeah, it
Without
is.
long periods of silence, yeah.
Anyway, this is the only planet on which I'm actually going to be showing the driving around. I'm going to be jump cutting past the driving around on basically every other side planet that I bother with. But
Even
there's not-
Liara's?
Well, Liara... No, not the main plot planets. Those are basically just
Okay.
linear racetracks. Those aren't the same as the bland sandboxes. But yeah. Oh, God. Past me, there's a cannon. It'll kill this thing a lot faster if you use it.
I'm surprised you forgot about the cannon.
Well, I'd never go back to Mass Effect 1.
Even still, it's like the one thing I remember about the buggy was all those Geth walkers, I just always shoot the cannon on it, like, constantly.
Oh, man.
I don't know why, but I'm sort of reminded of Blaster Master for some reason.
I've never played that game, but I know the do 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 do. I know that song from a nerd video where he used it once, and that song's
that's from Blaster
awesome.
Master.
That song is awesome, but I've never once played Blaster Master.
Anyway, this is the tactic when dealing with missile turrets. It's to just, park yourself sidelong so that you can shoot left or right at them, and then just slowly drive back and forth so that their missiles always miss you.
Man, I don't remember Batman Arkham Knight being this spacious.
Yeah, it basically is.
At least Batman has
Better
missiles.
be those better be rubber-tipped missiles you're shooting, mister.
It's okay. I was driving 60 miles per hour, and I shocked him. He's fine.
That might have been why I was so forgiving of the Batmobile while I was playing that game, because I have seen, with my own two eyes, how much worse that kind of vehicle gimmick can get.
I love that a vehicle that can plow through pillars. It just shocks the humans. It's okay.
It just shocks them. It was a 300-mile-per-hour shock, but I just shocked them.
That launched off a building, but he's
Anyway,
okay.
this is one of the only times that the side planets get clever about using the vehicle and on-foot stuff. There's a minefield here. It's too densely packed for you to drive a vehicle through it, so you kind of have to slowly walk your way through. Now, the mines themselves...
Jetpacks. Should we invest in jetpacks?
Oh, it's funny you mention that, because those are in Andromeda, but we don't have them now.
Well, now would have been
Hold on,
convenient.
one quick question. Doesn't your moon buggy have, jet propulsion?
It does, but it's just a jump.
It doesn't last forever.
Okay, so what you do is you go over one of those really tall hills there, launch yourself over the mine,
Yeah.
over
So
the
are we
mine.
playing Mass Effect or Grand Theft Auto?
While playing the ET theme.
Now, here's the thing about these mines. They are maddeningly precise about how far away you can be from them, and it's hard to just keep an eye on them visually where they are. So you kind of have to use this meter at the bottom, and it scares the shit out of me every time I go through this area, because it always seems like no matter where I'm going, I'm getting closer to one of them.
So the mines are not the axis on the radar.
No. The X's on the radar are actually from very, very far away. Those are locations that I've already explored.
So what if we find it? What if we find an 8? Then God help us all.
Yeah.
Anyway, once you get close to these crates, you're basically in the clear. But you do have a few stragglers outside the building who are ready to gun you down. It's a good thing that they put these crates out here. Wow. You know, at some point you would think Balak would say, hey, you know what? That's a defensible position for possible invaders. Let's take those crates down. But no.
Shut up.
You can't have a video game without chest-high walls to hide behind.
Chest-high walls.
This was
Madness!
actually, I think this was actually slightly before chest-high walls became such a thing in video games.
It might have been
No,
just
Gears of War, I think, is what
Gears
really,
of War, yeah. But it usually takes a couple of years for everybody to start adopting something so much that it becomes a trend, you know?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you see, Mass Effect 1 is actually a game where, because of the shield system and the way health works, you actually can last a little bit of a while outside of cover, at least in normal mode. When you're in insanity mode, oh, no. Yeah.
What is this armor? It looks like it's made out of paper mache.
It is.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Oh, man.
Oh shit!
Please don't come any closer.
Some of the dying animations are real bad.
That wasn't a dying animation. You just did a squat. He'll be back up.
Anyway, if
Ugh.
you want to get your vehicle over here, you have to disarm the blasting caps. If you don't do this, you'll have to navigate your way through the minefield on your way back out, which you don't want to have to do, because that would be annoying. Just to save some time later, I am running all the way back across the now defunct minefield so that I can drive my car into the driveway, so to speak.
Valet.
Welcome to living in a city. It's a strangely barren city, but the parking rules all apply.
Oh, the meter was busted. Oh, man, now we're gonna get ticketed to hell.
Yeah, who gives you the space ticket?
$30 for all
Here's
day
a funny
parking.
thing, okay? Those lights...
Sunday!
Oh,
The
that's
lights,
great.
the crates, the lights around the border of the minefield and the crates are all immovable objects. So if you hit them, your car goes flying.
Oh, so we can bust through solid rock, but a tiny little light support. Just, you know, I know that trees are supposed to be the indestructible video game object, but that just takes the cake.
Nah, it's still not as good as Sonic Unleashed with the pedestrians in Shamar.
Or the picket fences in Grand Theft Auto.
Now, this particular building is a bit annoying because of the rocket drones. Those are flying enemies that basically fly back and forth and shoot rockets at you. You don't want to get hit by rockets in this particular game because, well, they fuck you up, especially this early.
Do you want to get hit by rockets in any game?
Well, no, but they're not quite as damning to get hit by in the later Mass Effect games because of the way health regeneration works. Like, rockets will usually take down your shields, but your shields only take a few seconds under cover to restore, so it's not that big of a deal when it happens. But here, you're basically going to lose your entire shield and half your health. And you don't have that restoring health going. But the other thing that's annoying about this room is that there are people who know the sabotage attack in here. Sabotage is something that you're only going to see in Mass Effect 1, because only Mass Effect 1 uses the overheating mechanic for its gun in place of ammo. So when you use sabotage on an enemy, you basically force their gun into a near overheat state where the next shot jams it up for a little while. The same thing can be done to you, though, and it is really annoying when it happens, because it basically means you have to sit on your ass with your thumb up your butt for about 20-30 seconds until your gun starts working again.
Yeah, I'd rather just sit on my ass and not place my thumb anywhere else in the rectum.
So-
Thank you very much.
Almost like they're trying to
In
stop
Mass
you.
Effect, do guns use bullets or lasers?
Bullets.
Oh, okay.
The technicals of how bullets work is there's a big block of metal in place of an ammo clip inside the gun, and Mass Effect field generators shear off bullet-shaped chunks of it and fire those at really absurdly fast speeds. So they're not bullets in the sense that the bullets we make are. There's no gunpowder involved. They are literally just metal slugs that fire off really fast.
But it does chip away from the block, so if you were going to reload anything, it would be that cube.
Hey, look, a
Yeah,
rock.
but
shoved
here's
up in
the
gun.
thing, though. The blocks themselves are large enough that they basically constitute thousands of bullets each. So you're never going to run out of actual metal during a single fight. That's where the overheating mechanic comes in. Basically, that stands in for ammo, but you don't have to find ammo, you just have to keep an eye on your gun and make sure you don't shoot too fast, too hard, and too much. But the actual overheating mechanic of your gun can be improved throughout the game, so by the end of the game, you basically have to try to overheat your gun for it to actually happen.
So how do they add ammo back into lore-wise into? The
Okay,
other
so
games?
this is a bit stupid, but basically they wanted to have an ammo-based cover shooter, so they contrived a way for it to happen. Basically, after Mass Effect 1, the entire galaxy adopted Geth technology, which ejected the gun's heat sink after after it overheated instead of waiting for it to cool down. In theory, this makes it so that you can shoot faster, but in practice, gameplay-wise, the thermal clips that you replace the heatsink with function as ammo. The only difference is that thermal clips for guns are standardized. Every gun uses the same clip, and all of those discarded clips that enemies dropped on the floor when they reloaded their own guns, well, you can pick them up and use them once the heat's all gone. So any clip works on any gun. So it's a really, really, really simplified ammo system in gameplay terms. But there is a lore reason why it happened. And one of the favorite fan debates is which system was more efficient in actual combat.
You sound like you're absolutely done with that debate.
Yeah, I am. It's kind of like the Mako Hammerhead debates, which Mass Effect 3 actually included a dialogue exchange about because they were so prevalent. People arguing about which vehicle actually made more sense in the lore and why. But we'll get to that in Mass Effect 2 when the Hammerhead appears, because I have a lot to say about that fucking thing.
Such animosity for a shark.
It's not a shark. If it were a shark, it would probably last longer under fire.
There, I saved the world. End game.
I think I
Roll
think everything
credits.
in that I think everything in this building is dead. Possibly.
Not everything. Your teammates.
One thing you'll notice in this game is that I tend to completely forget that I have grenades at all. Which is unfortunate because they
Well, again, they
replenish
map
pretty
it to the select button.
Yeah, they do, and
What the shit?
and it's so weird. But if they actually like, I imagine players of the PC version get more use out of the grenades because you can map it to a different button. But oh god, the grenades themselves are really effective because they fire in a straight line. Can you imagine grenades that fire in a straight line? It's almost like a rocket launcher you can keep in your pocket.
It's almost like you're throwing this frisbee instead of a grenade.
Yeah, it even makes a whizzing sound as it goes through the air.
Just
Oh, it's probably from Nerf. The Nerf Whistler. Only it's a live-action grenade.
Are you there? You've got to hurry. You've really pissed them off.
I forget. Are they all like remotes, or are some of them timed? Because I know that you had to push the button with some of them in order to make them go off again.
Oh, what do you mean? The quick time event just now? Or the grenade? Oh,
The grenades.
I think they're timed, but you can push the button to trigger the detonation early.
Oh, that might be it.
Like a sticky bomb, basically. And that's basically what they are, yeah. They stick on whatever you hit them with. It's actually more effective to fire them at specific points on walls and floors than it is to try and aim at people. Now that moment kind of made me like this character, and it's the main reason I choose what I do at the end of this mission, because she is so dedicated to not helping the bad guys that she resigns herself to her brother dying right in front of her. But she still has to turn around. It's a really sad moment, and it's so understated too, because the game doesn't really dwell on it at all. It was just at that moment that I actually started to like Bring Down the Sky.